What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back today. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to Therapist Logan Reacts. Today we are doing something that a lot of people have commented on. They wanted me to do a reaction and a breakdown of Ren's Hi Ren. I've seen clips of this on TikTok. This is very interesting, and I'm very curious to kind of give it a breakdown. I don't really know too much about the in-depths and the thing, but I've heard some very good things. I've heard bits and pieces that I thought were really interesting, and yeah, so I'm very excited to get this going. So let's jump right into it. We're actually going to do the music video today, so it's a little bit different. Okay. So artistically, again, I'm a videographer as well. It's really cool to kind of see, again, like not cool, but it's very artistically sound, with, like, again, this guy in the pig's mask, with blood all over his apron, and then I'm assuming Ren in a psychiatric gown, and in a wheelchair of some sort.
Hi there, Ran. It's been a little while. Did you miss me? You thought you buried me, didn't you? Risky. Cause I always come back. Deep down, you know that. Deep down, you know I'm always in periphery. Ran, on your pleased to see me. It's been weeks since we spoke, bro. I know you need me. You're the sheep, I'm the shepherd. Not your place to lead me. Not your place to be biting off the hand that feeds me. Hi, Ran. I've been taking some time to be distant. I've been taking some time to be still. I've been taking some time to be by myself since my therapist told me I'm ill. And I've been making some progress lately. And I've learned some new coping skills. So I haven't really needed you much, man. I think we need to just step back and chill. Ren.
Okay, so right off bat, it seems like he is having a conversation with maybe some of like a embodiment or an identity of a part within himself that is like the manifestation of his mental health. Whether I'm not again, I can't really make a distinction off of this quite yet, but it seems a bit aggressive. This other self. The second part, it seemed like that's more closely who he identifies with his personal self as. He listed, I'm working with a therapist, I got new coping skills. It's kind of like trying the new things and being uncomfortable in attempting new skills to better themselves. And then he's about to jump in, but I'm curious to see kind of how maybe the other embodiment is taking it.
I'm more insane than I do. You think that those doctors are really there to guide you? Been through this a million times. Your civilian mind is so perfect to always being lied to. Okay,
right off bat, or continuing on, the second self, let's just call it, the second self seems to be questioning original self. It is being combative, it's questioning, it's kind of breaking down some of the thought processes that the original self is trying to create and manifest and facilitate for itself and grow in certain areas. It's starting to give off certain vibes like insecurities. Insecurities is a big kind of component that is kind of coming. The not fully trusting in ourselves, and maybe some kind of like theoretical, like, I think they like just I think this generation calls them like the demons that are inside of me. Again, it's the manifestation of depression, anxiety, stress, trauma. Just kind of, again, it's kind of like all that wrapped up into this other self that's questioning everything a different
Another
part.
pill boy, drown yourself in the sound of white noise. Follow this 10-step program, rejoice. All your problems will be gone. Fucking dumb boy. Nah, mate, this time is different, man. Trust me. I feel like things might be falling in place, and my music's been kinda doing bits too. Like I actually might do something great, and when I'm gone, maybe I'll be remembered for doing something special with myself. That's why I don't think that we should talk, man. Cause when you're with me, it never seems to help. You think that you can amputate me? I am you, you are me, you are I am we are one. Split in two, that makes one. So you see, you gotta kill you if you wanna kill me. I'm not.
Wow, that line is actually wild. But I think this is a really cool concept because Ren is encapsulating a very important part of a therapeutic technique, I think, without really knowing it. I work primarily and have a focus and trainings in what's called IFS, or internal family systems, and it basically reflects that internally we have, like, if you think of the middle, that's the self. This is the most us we can be, like the most me I can be, and then we have these other parts within ourselves that try to keep us safe, these different personalities, these different behaviors, these different ideas. And this person, he stated, we are one together holistically, but we're two different people inside. And I don't want you to confuse this with another disorder that's very popular, and what I had originally thought this was about, dissociative identity disorder, which is previously known as multiple personality disorder. There is a lot of, I think, I'm not even going to get into that, but that's what I originally thought it was, but that's not the therapeutic technique. That I just don't want to get that mixed up. You can be fully aware of these different parts of who you are. Think of it almost as if your personality of you at work versus your personality with you and your friends. Those are completely different personalities that have different behaviors, mannerisms, and different perspectives that keep you safe in those moments. I have to be more professional in my job so I can keep my job and keep my financial security, versus being with my friends. I can be sociable, I can be joking. I don't need to have that professional aspect. So it's very similar in this sense, but this part that he's battling with, having confliction, which is big in IFS, is I want to start believing in myself. I want to start getting away from maybe some of those insecurities, and this is trying to drag them back down, almost like, hey, you were prideful one time, you were proud, and it didn't go well. So it's like a protector in this sense. It's like an exact protector.
I'm not scraps on the side. Oh, your music is thriving. Delusional guy. Where's your top 10 hit? Where's your interview with Oprah? Wow, your Grammys ran nowhere.
And see, the beautiful part about this is the part that's trying to protect the self, the main Ren in this scenario, is, it doesn't seem like it. It's trying to talk you down, and I know it's a very abstract form of thinking, but this idea that the second self is trying to protect them, just in a very maladaptive way. It's breaking him down, trying to keep him from soaring too high. It's this, I don't want us to get our hopes up, so we're let down again. And typically, we gain these personalities when we've gone through something significant, something traumatic, a very big experience that held a lot of weight for us when we were younger and in our past. So here it seems like maybe Ren, again, just spitballing here, maybe Ren, when he was starting to become an artist, he started getting hopeful. He started becoming proud of himself. And then something significantly happened that made him question his entire identity, value system, motivations, and aspirations in life. And that part it was a new part of himself, something to kind of dial him back down to, in a sense, keep him humble, but in a very aggressive, attacking, breakdowny way. And it's not appropriate. And in therapy through IFS, I would work with those together, because there's no bad parts. And there's actually a book called No Bad Parts when it comes to IFS, which I highly recommend other therapists read. So if you're another therapist, highly look into that book. Even if you're not a therapist, look into that book if you're interested in that. It's phenomenal. It's one of my favorite books of all time when it comes to therapy. But sorry, I get on a tangent. But ultimately, it works to look at those two different personalities and look how they can work together, because they're trying to, but they're not doing it in ways that they both agree on. Finding that compromise that they can become blended together back into that original self.
But my music's not commercial like that. I never chase numbers, statistics or stats. I never write hooks for the radio, they never even play me, so why would I concern myself with that? But my music is really connecting, and the people who find it respect it. And for me that's enough, cause this life's been tough, so it gives me a purpose I can rest in. Man, you sound so pretentious. Ran, your music is so self-centered. No one wants to hear another song about how much you hate yourself. Trust me. You should be so lucky, having me inside you to guide you, remind you to manage expectations, provide you perspective. That
exactly
thing you
what I was saying
neglect, I
earlier.
get it. You wanna be a big deal, next Jimi Hendrix, forget it. Man, it's not like that. Man, it's just like that. I'm inside you, you twat. No, it's not, man, you're wrong. When I write, I belong. Let me break the fourth wall by acknowledging this song. Ren sits down, has a stroke of genius. He wants to write a song that was not done previous. A battle with the subconscious, Eminem did it. Played on guitar, Plan B did it. Man, you're not original, you criminal rip-off artist. The pinnacle of your success is stealing other people's material. Ren, mate, we've heard it all before. She sells seashells on the seashore. Fuck you, I don't need you, I don't need to hear this. Cause I'm fine by myself, I'm a genius. And I will be great, and I will make waves, and I'll shake up the whole world beneath us. That's right, speak your truth, your fucking God complex leaks out of you. It's refreshing to actually hear you say it instead of downplay it. Music is all about the creative process, and if people can find something to relate to within that, then that's just a bonus.
And again, I think he's doing a fantastic job, because even in IFS, a technique we'll use is kind of like a empty chair aspect, where you'll talk to this part that is trying to get you to, trying to protect you, or trying to get you to do something else, or just explore the connection or confliction that's happening inside you. And here he's doing it exactly kind of how an IFS therapist might attempt to bridge the gap between what those different parts, essentially.
I'ma fucking kill you,
This
Ren.
can be very
Fucking kill me,
therapeutic,
Dan.
just
Let's
this
fucking
itself.
have you, Ren. I'ma do it, watch me prove it. Who are you to doubt my music? Cause I call the shots I choose if you die. Yeah, I call the shots and so I choose who survives. I'll tie you up in knots when I lock you inside.
See, but now with this confliction, he's trying to cut this piece off of him, which you can't do. And that's, I think, where the biggest problem lies. Even though they don't agree, and the other, the new part, the second part of Ren, is not really beneficial to them, you can't shut down any part of yourself. That just doesn't work like that, because it's part of you. And when you come to realize and recognize that it is part of you, that's when you can start working on it. How can I adapt and alleviate some of those things that it's doing and make it do new jobs that are actually benefiting me? That's, again, a very core component with IFS.
Newsflash. I was created at the dawn of creation. I am temptation. I am the snake in Eden. I am the reason for treason, beheading all kings. I am sin, with no rhyme or reason. Son of the morning, Lucifer, Antichrist, father of lies. Mephistopheles, truth in a blender, deceitful pretender, the banished avenger, the righteous surrender. When standing in front of my solar eclipse, my name is stitched to your lips. So you see, I won't bow to the will of a mortal, feeble and normal. You wanna kill me? I'm eternal immortal. I live in every decision that catalyzes chaos, that causes division. I live inside death, the beginning of end. I am you, you are me, I am you, Ren. Hi, Ren. I've been taking some time to be distant. I've been taking some time to be still. I've been taking some time to be by myself, and I've spent half my life ill. But just as sure as the tide starts turning, just as sure as the night has dawned, just as sure as the rainfall soon runs dry when you stand in an eye of a storm. I was made to be tested and twisted. I was made to be broken and beat. I was made by his hand, it's all part of his plan that I stand on my own 2 feet. And you know me, my will is eternal. And you know me, you've met me before. Face to face with a beast, I will rise from the east and I'll settle on the ocean floor. And I go by many names also. Some people know me as hope. Some people know me as the voice that you hear when you loosen the noose on the rope.
Wow, that is beautiful. I'm known as the voice, or my name is Hope. Some people know me as the voice that you hear when you loosen the noose on the rope. This is, again, just talking about the idea of hope and what it can do. And as I've been in this field for a long time, hope in itself appears to be a very positive thing. It's a very positive ideology that we look for in movies, entertainment, and social media. But when it comes to mental health, hope can be one of the scariest things ever. It can be a terrifying, because to hope you need to be trusting again, trusting in the process, trusting in the world. And a lot of the time that's a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to ask for someone who's been broken down and has experienced traumatic things. And here, some people know me as the voice you hear when you loosen the noose on the rope. And that's the part that's telling you, like, no, we want to survive. We want to be alive. We want to be here. And that was meaningful. That gave me goosebumps.
Know how I know that I'll prosper? Cause I stand here beside you today.
It's very motivating.
I have stood in the flames that cremated my brain, and I didn't once flinch or shake. So cower the man I've become when I sing from the top of my lungs, that I won't retire, I'll stand in your fire, inspire that me to be strong. And when I am gone, I will rise in the music that I left behind.
Fantastic voice
ferocious,
as well.
persistent, immortal like you, we're a climbing to different side.
Fantastic voice. A lot of control over it.
When I was 17 years old, I shouted out into an empty room, into a blank canvas, that I would defeat the forces of evil. And for the next 10 years of my life, I suffered the consequences, with autoimmunity, illness, and psychosis. As I got older, I realized there were no real winners and there were no real losers in psychological warfare, but there were victims and there were students. It wasn't David versus Goliath. It was a pendulum, eternally swaying from the dark to the light. And the more intensely that the light shone, the darker the shadow it cast. It was never really a battle for me to win. It was an eternal dance. And like a dance, the more rigid I became, the harder it got. The more I cursed my clumsy footsteps, the more I struggled. So I got older, and I learned to relax. And I learned to soften, and that dance got easier. It is this eternal dance that separates human beings from angels, from demons, from gods. And I must not forget, we must not forget, that we are human beings.
Wow. That end bit, very artistically sound. Just the poetic tones that at the very end is just highly memorable and just is so important. Like the idea that it aligns that it's not one versus the other. These things, that the psychological warfare going inside our minds, it's not you versus you. It's you're in it together. It's how you can kind of come through. And again, his idea of his use of light and dark, of how they're needed. No matter the closer to the light you get, the bigger the shadow will be cast. It's the idea of finding that balance, that medium, that internal comfort, like, is needed. And it's needed to have both ends of the spectrums as well, to have the very good positives and have the very bad negatives. and those experiences is what make us us and human beings, and the idea of suffering, of being able to be this beautiful thing, of giving us insight of specific ideologies and perspectives, can connect us more with others who have been through similar things. Yeah, this was awesome. Shout out to Ren. I think he encapsulates very deep themes and topics that humans go through, and explored it and exposed it in a very interesting, positive, and psychologically driven way. I like this song a lot. I enjoyed it. He hit very big, deep topics. I couldn't really. It happened really fast. A lot of his lyrics were thick, so I would probably do better again with being able to read the lyrics. But again, he hit a lot of key components and a lot of specific specialties that I really like to focus in. So I thought this was really cool. Let me know if you'd ever want like a more in-depth explanation of IFS, like on a different video, just because I try not to go too deep into it because it can be really confusing on just like a theoretical framework. But yeah, I think he did phenomenal. I really like this song. He hits a lot of good core themes. Let me know if there's anything specific you might think that I missed. There was a lot. It's a long song. So I'm sure I missed a bunch of different things. But yeah, this is a great one. Let me know if this is something in your daily listen to, or how meaningful the song, or what you got from it, because I think that's the beautiful thing about meaningful music, is people can use it in any way they really need. So let me know what this song did for you. If this made you think of anything specific, give it in the comments down below. Make sure you give this video a like too. And make sure you subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.